Well, we are backstage with a very special guest who is somebody who's been here before, but it's been a couple of years. Dylan Raymond. Dylan, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you, man?
Man, living the dream. It is a beautiful day here in Southwest Michigan, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the case here again. It's been a long string of days, of good days, but I'm hoping it's going to stick around here for when you're here on the 1st. So keeping our fingers crossed for that. But
I've been keeping my eye on the radar. So let's hope for the best.
Yeah, it's a George Strait song right now, Blue Clear Skies. So let's keep that train rolling that way, right?
Very true.
Since the last time you were here, let's talk a little bit. If somebody maybe didn't see your show at Silver Harbor Brewing, which is where you're going to be again on July 1st, give us a little bit of insight on your background, who you are, and maybe even a little bit about what you stand for.
Yep. So my name is Dylan Raymond, country music artist based in Nashville, Tennessee. Basically, what we bring to Silver Harbor is what we call the brewery tour. I started this back when COVID happened. I'm a big, when we're out on the road, we don't do McDonald's or any big fast food chains type restaurants. We always try to find the mom and pop shops and stuff like that and support the local businesses of the area. So we started the brewery tour. That was my main focus was, I lost one of my favorite restaurants in my hometown because of COVID. They just couldn't stay open anymore. And so I had the idea, passed on to my manager, but what if we do an acoustic show that brings in people that, it's still safe back then and everything like that. And of course, St. Joe brought out the people, man. That whole plaza was packed out. We only did one day last time. We had them spread out, but we only did one day. We're doing a back-to-back this time. So I'm expecting it's 4th of July. I know there's going to be a lot of tourists up there, but a lot of locals as well. So I know it's going to be a good time.
Excellent. Well, I've got a couple of restaurants I'll give you some suggestions on to keep you busy.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit because the last time we talked, we had mentioned about CMA Fest and how you've had the opportunity to play there. Now, obviously, there were a couple of years wasn't able to happen. Now, this year it came back around. Did you have the opportunity to play that, or what's the biggest show that you've played so far since normal's come back, we'll say?
So CMA Fest, we actually are already booked up. It's been kind of crazy ever since, once everything opened back up, every single weekend's out on the road. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. I love it. So we didn't get to play CMA Fest this year. We're fingers crossed for next year. But yeah, this year already we played the big show wise. We did a packed out show in Omaha, Nebraska at Barnado, which is one of my favorite venues out there. It's such it has a Gatsby vibe to it, like old school 1920s. It's really different, but it's a lot of fun. And then we just played in April. I say just April's, right there, but
right, yeah.
Almost in July. But yeah, we played a show in Cincinnati, Ohio called Lori's Roadhouse, and it was completely sold out. It was a great time. It was our first time actually bringing the full band to Cincinnati, so it meant a lot to me to see everybody show up for that one. But yeah, we just been kind of hammering down the brewery tour, playing some full band shows in between here, and we got a bunch of stuff coming up for the rest of the year.
Very cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about maybe some other venues. And obviously, Silver Harbor, a great venue and, great place to have a beverage too. But talking about, bigger venues that you dream of, what is that one that would make you say, you know what, this is the dream come true, where I want to be as a headliner?
I mean, so one of my idols, ever since I was a little kid and I got my first guitar, was Kenny Chesney. And see him play the football stadiums, Madison Square Garden, whatever it may be, that would just be ideal. I wouldn't even it doesn't matter which one. I just want to kind of play them all, really. So, and it's I've always seen those photos of him on Instagram where he's at the very top row of the football stadium. And so you just see that, he's going to sell that out regardless. Mm-hmm. And that would be a dream. Just any football stadium, Madison Square Garden, Red Rocks would be awesome as well. I've never been. That's on my bucket list to go out to Red Rocks still, just as a fan. So hopefully someday.
Man, I'm kind of the same way, same boat that you are, because I have driven right by Red Rocks and I'm oh my God, it's Red Rocks. And we went right by it and I'm oh man. So that's kind of one of those, missed out opportunities. But have you seen a show at Madison Square Garden?
No, I haven't.
It's trippy because you'll be there at the show and then the crowd will be kind of moving a little bit and you can kind of almost feel it, like the floor moving a little bit. It'll mess with your head a little bit, but it's a blast. So
Hey,
definitely recommend it.
be a good time.
Yeah, man. You go see a show there before you headline there. That's just going to be my advice.
I have a feeling that's probably going to happen, but
Yeah. Awesome. Well, okay. So let's go back and talk a little bit more about the live show and your music specifically. When you're playing your set, obviously you're playing some of your music that you've written, a lot of that, but also you likely throw in some covers
yeah.
and try to gauge where the crowd is. Is there a song that you can play that they're like, all right, when I play this, the crowd's either going to react this way or they're going to react this way, and I've got to pivot my set list and how we're doing this?
Really, I just kind of catch the vibe at the very beginning. I mean, I play like a lot of '90s stuff as well as like early 2000s, like stuff that I grew up on. I was born in '93, so '90s country is like something that my dad kind of hammered into my soul. And so besides my originals, like there's just you got George Strait, Tim McGraw, David Lee Murphy, all that stuff in there. We do throw in a little bit like a different genre as well. I don't want to give too much away because I want people to just come out to the show and find out. But actually, my manager, I was messing around. I was like, dude, what if we take like this song and this song? I don't want to say the songs once again because I want to ruin it. And I was like, what if we just like, and I started playing it. He goes, dude, just try it out and see what happens. So we did an acoustic show and like jaws dropped to the ground because they were like, wait a second. So I had them in one direction and I just threw them in a completely different one because it's like totally two different genres mixed into one song. And it got the crowd going. So we've been doing that ever since. And it's funny to see people's reactions because they'll be singing along to the one song. Then I'll just pull on out 180. And it's a good time though. So like really like there's not, I mean, more times than none, the '90s get a lot of people singing, get people moving along. So we do a lot of '90s stuff. But even the originals, I've had people come up to me before, be like, we love hearing originals over covers, and that just means a lot. Like any artist out there, like that's a newer artist, they love hearing that. So if you're even going out there as a fan, like listen to people and you ask them for original, I guarantee you're gonna make that artist day.
Yeah, and the trouble with doing covers, and it's a good thing and kind of a double-edged sword, right? So people like familiar, but if you're going to do familiar, you've got to do it to where it's as good or a unique spin on it to make it, to where they still enjoy that version. Yeah. But the originals obviously give you an opportunity to showcase, your own life experience and, where you're from. And that might be true in the case of your song Gone. And that's not even a planned segue here, but we're going to roll with it. Tell me about that song and how that came to be.
Basically like I was just, down on my luck and everything, and really just I never really had a full breakout, like a breakup song. I Can Be That was, my love song. And that still blows my mind that it has over 3 million streams on Spotify, but like I wanted to like segue that to, okay, what would happen if, you lost that girl that I Can Be That, like you wrote, because when I wrote I Can Be That, basically like I was actually single at the time. And I was wanting to write a song about where a girl basically tell a guy how she wanted to be treated, but the guy saying, hey, I'm going to treat you this way. And it was the girl's like dream of that. And so with Gone, basically I was trying to put myself in that mindset of, hey, what would it be like to lose that girl that you've always wanted in your life, the dream girl. And so when we recorded that and everything, I wrote that one by myself. I actually wrote that during quarantine, which a lot of artists did. We wrote a lot, like a lot of the new stuff coming out that we have, I wrote during quarantine. So you have Straight Up Country. I wrote that with two of my really good friends, Matt Gorman and Kaylin Robertson. Both of them were actually just on American Idol. And then Till the Cows Come Home, I actually wrote in a hotel room when we were actually on the brewery tour, which is funny because when you listen to that song, it's so rowdy and it's like, I wrote this in my hotel room, like
quietly in my bathrobe with my slippers on.
Like, yeah. It's really weird, but yeah, like one of my most rowdy songs I wrote in a hotel room. So it's like, it's kind of cool because especially with like the acoustic shows like this, I get to share those stories and like, because people will ask me like, where did you get the idea for that? Where were you when you wrote that in your life and everything like that? So it's kind of crazy because my whole life has kind of flip-flopped since then. I have a wonderful girlfriend now. So I'm very thankful for that. And it's like gone. It's like when I sing it, it's like those emotions don't exist. But it's like in my mind, I'm like, okay, what if I lose that girl?
Mm-hmm.
Then that song really kind of plays an effect. And when we cut the music video for that, we really wanted to like actually hone in on the storytelling of that song rather than just, a typical music video. We really wanted to show, okay, like the emotion that I would have felt if I lost that girl.
Yeah. I think in the conversation you alluded to a couple different things where you're like, "Hey, I've never really had a song like that." Obviously, adding that into your repertoire too. Is there a type of song that you feel like is missing from your catalog that's like next up on your list? You're like, all right, I've got a rowdy party song, I've got a breakup song, I've got a I'm in crazy love song. Is there one like that?
Hinting to some new stuff. We got like a duet that was on my bucket list. Always wanted to release a duet song, and so we got that coming. And like I have BFE, and I think BFE is more on that side of rowdiness, but I wanted something a little bit more rowdy, and so like Straight Up Country and Till the Cows Come Home. Those like when we play live full band sets, Till the Cows Come Home is the very beginning and Straight Up Country is the very end. So we make sure that we hit you on the way in and we hit you on the way out. So, and it's a good time. Like my guys, like when we make the set list together, I always make sure my guys have a say, and they always pick those because they just love those two songs. And so really, I mean, I've always wanted like an actual, like, Kenny Chesney beach song. I just don't know if it's my vibe per se. I've written them before, whether I was on a beach, whether I was on a cruise ship, whatever it was, but like I'm from Indiana, so it's like
Right. Terre Haute,
there's
right?
not much beach around for me to like get a bunch of ideas off of. Maybe we can write one about like a lake party or something like that. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Indiana's a very big state, right? You just go up to the north end of it, right by us here, and you got Lake Michigan. And here's a perfect opportunity: Silver Harbor Brewing, literally walking distance to Silver Beach. I mean, we're gonna get you a pina colada, or we're gonna get you something in your hand to really give you that beach vibe.
I ain't gonna complain about that.
Yeah.
We actually went down to Silver Beach and stuff last time we were up there, and we loved it.
Yeah, man.
It was a good time.
It's a great place. We're happy to have you back here. And again, your song Gone, one of many that we're going to be hearing at the show coming up on July 1st. And it's a 7 p.m. show time. It's a free show as well. And if we want to maybe, do our homework, we'll say,
Yep.
and get caught up on everything Dylan Raymond, is there a good social platform that we can check out in your music?
Literally, if you just look up Dylan Raymond Music on any social media, you'll see me. It's DYLAN. I tell everybody it's like Everybody Loves Raymond, RAYMOND. And if you can't make it to July 1st, this is the first time we're doing a back-to-back. I'll be there July 2nd as well, same time, 7 to 10. So 4th of July weekend, come spend it with me.
There you go, man. I've got a brilliant idea too. You just kind of alluded to it. You should start a TikTok series or something that's Everybody Loves Dylan Raymond, and then
there you go.
I mean, just figure. I don't know exactly what the content is yet, but I'll give that to you soon. All right.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, you bet, brother. All right, there you go. Silver Harbor Brewing, July 1st. Be there. It's going to be a great show with Dylan Raymond. And again, thanks a lot for chatting with us here, buddy.
Appreciate you, man.
You bet.